This is how you tie the quick release hitch on our little jet bag here. So we have a little throw line, sandbag. This is the bag that we're going to throw up into the tree to wrap our anchor or grab our anchor. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the end of it, pass it through the sewn in ring, and then I'm going to bring the end of the jet line around like I'm going to an overhand, but instead of taking the end of it and putting it through the overhand, I'm going to put a bite through. So I make a bite, come up from the bottom, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull it tight. So what this allows me to do is I get the same basically overhand knot, but this time it has a bite in it, so I need to release it. It's easy to release. All right, so we threw our line with our bag over a limb above in the tree, and now we're gonna rig our friction saver. So what this allows me to do is put an anchor point around the limb, and this will become fixed, so it allows the rope to move through the two rings and not over the limb that wears through the limb and ends up failing it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how to rig this up into the tree, and then this will be a retrievable anchor, so I can get it back without having to be up into the tree or reclimb. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take the small ring. So it's got two different size rings, right? So the small ring is gonna get the bag side. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop my line through the small ring, tie that same hitch that we tied earlier around the bag. And what that's going to do is allow the bag to sit in there, right? It catches in the ring so it doesn't go through. And then the other end of the friction saver is going to go through the other end of the throw line. Now, if the throw line is long, if I have a lot of it and I can't have the other end, then this has to go on first before I tie or throw the bag over the limb. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of tension on it, and we're going to pull this anchor up into the limb. It's gonna come over, the two rings are gonna meet, and then the bag will drop back down. All right, now that we have our friction saver up in the tree, we have an anchor point, the bag is back down. We're gonna go ahead and tie up our rope that we're going to eventually climb up through the friction saver. So I'm gonna release my bag with that quick hitch that we had. I'm gonna drop it, and I'm gonna tie a clove hitch around my ascending rope. All right, doesn't have to be any distance away. And then I'm gonna put two half hitches in it. One midway through and then one at the very top. The one at the very top helps it guide through the friction saver. We're gonna go through the small ring first, then the big ring, and then when we pull it out, it'll come opposite way and allow us to pull the friction saver out of the tree without being up there. So I have it tied up. I'm gonna grab my other end of my throw line, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rope up through the friction saver. So once we get done doing whatever we have to do up in the tree as far as the rope is concerned, and we're done with the ascending rope, we're going to go ahead and get the friction saver out of the tree, off the limb, without having to be up there. So how it works is we're going to go ahead and tie a overhand knot here, super small. So you want it small enough to go through the big ring of the friction saver, but not through the small ring. You want it to catch there. So we just tied a little stopper knot or overhand knot there, and we're going to go ahead and pull this up through the friction saver. It's going to go through the big ring, catch the small ring, and then down comes our anchor.